Hi, I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. I'm at the Winterport yard at the moment, and I want to have a look at some of my single brood chamber colony hives and see how the brood chamber in those looks compared to things like the double brood chamber colonies I looked at yesterday and the double nuke colonies I looked at yesterday. Like those, we should see the brood chamber relatively full, and just want to show you what things look like in a single brood chamber colony during the middle of the summer. Things will change as the summer goes along, but let's start looking at we can start looking at a colony like this one here. We have two brood chambers, a single brood chamber rather. One second. We've got a single brood chamber down here and a couple of honey supers above it. We'll see how things are looking. It's a good spot because at least there's a bit of shade here. I'm sorry about the sound system. For some reason the battery on the microphone on the transmitter near the phone doesn't appear to be operating, even though I charged it last night. So I'm hoping that everything is okay there. You have to check it when I get home. The problem of having to rely on 3 batteries for your sound system. Okay, this super is recently been added. They're not building on it yet. There hasn't been honeyflow until now. But they're getting to work here, storing honey. You can see a fair amount of capped honey in here. Formic acid treatment a few weeks ago. It's time for those to come off, ready after 10 days. Looking in the top, I can see a fair amount of brood. They're not quite occupying the outer frames here. Got pollen being stored out here, a little bit of honey. It's good to see some honey in here. Lots of brood. Lots of cat brood that's emerging, and lots of eggs going in the spaces where they are emerging. Still a bit early in the morning, although they're getting busy. We've got a fair few field bees still in the hive, a little ticked off. Nice load of brood here of all stages. Brood looks nice and wet. Looks good and healthy. So another frame of brood. Another lovely frame of brood here. But very little food. Very little honey. Absolutely full frame of brood here. Another full frame of young bees. A lot more brood. And brood and pollen out here. So we've got about 7 frames of brood, 6 to 7 frames of brood. Very little honey stored. They're storing all the honey up above. So I'd often see them occupying a much bigger amount of this space. I think that the dirt that we're just coming out of, the bees are just starting to make use of it. The queens in this hive, the queen in this hive has reduced the amount of laying it had been doing, but she's busy laying eggs again now, for sure. So we'll have a look at this colony, another single brood chamber hive. Not much going on in the honey super up here yet. This honey super is just about full. Looking in the brood chamber here, again not occupying quite to the edges, but I see plenty of brood in the middle. Building the comb out here. The pollen and some eggs. Packed with brood. And I can see brood, 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 brood right across. Eggs and larvae on this side, and then we're into honey. So I'm not really seeing the colony as stuffed with brood as I'd like to see. I think a little later on in the season we will. Not a great deal going on in this yard right now. The honeyflow is on for sure, but they haven't made up for the lost time of the dearth yet, so there's still a long way to go before they have their honey supers filled up and before I can start taking them off. Anyway, we'll go on to the other Winterport yard, see how things are developing there.